You are about to meet a remarkable man.
Dr. Mark Chironna. He's a doctor of philosophy, a theologian, and a master of neurolinguistic programming who's changing the self-help arena even as we speak.
We've both had the pleasure of meeting Mark, and it truly is unbelievable how he touches people's lives.
You know, Oprah has done a tremendous job of awakening and making more aware the populace, the general populace of America, to the many issues that people struggle with in the human condition. I think the one thing that she's doing is making us more aware again of the fact that esteem is a challenge for us. And it's a problem in a society that is going through so many changes. The 38 and under crowd, the product of the baby boomer generation, is an unaffirmed generation. And the gift of affirmation is vital to a sense of esteem. But the baby boomers have produced a generation that has no sense of value about who they are. They're needs-driven. And so they don't know that self-esteem is a skill to be developed. When I went to school, they told me I needed reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those were the skills I needed to survive. They never taught me the art of connecting with people. They never taught me the art of asking questions, even if I thought they were stupid. As a matter of fact, we were encouraged not to ask stupid questions. It wasn't until I grew up that I found out that no question is stupid if I don't know the answer for it.
Lee, you've been around the world of self-help, and you certainly know it inside and out. What makes Mark so different?
He's personable. He takes an individual approach to everybody he works with. I've been around so many of the people that have led the category, Terry, over the last decade, and there's a lot of good people out there that are making a difference. But Mark's unique selling proposition, if you will, what differentiates him is his ability to personally connect, whether he's on television reaching 40 million people or one-on-one with you. I've had the benefit of spending time with him personally, and he's likable, he's intelligent, he's a combination of a spiritual leader and a psychologist and a mentor and a friend all in one person. But he's very, very versed in so many different forms of literature and educational material, so that when you talk about these different issues in life, or your spiritual growth, or where you're trying to go psychologically, mentally, spiritually, how you can change your life, he not only is a mentor and someone who can guide you, but he has references and things to support it. So it's not just meaningless chatter. You know, it doesn't go in one ear and out the other and there's no change affected. That's been my personal experience.
We're dealing with the issue of self-image in our society. Self-image is a false representation and a projection of what I want people to think I am. And so many people are trying to live up and project a self-image of something they're not. Esteem is a feeling. It's a feeling of value and worth I have about myself. And at the root of all low esteem or non-esteem is value judging. And the only way to experience total, unconditional acceptance is to release value judging. And I have found that even in the most dysfunctional families and children who grow up with no sense of being affirmed, someone in their life, an uncle, an aunt, a grandparent, a teacher, someone affirmed them. And if we can help them connect with that state of affirmation that they experienced when they were affirmed, we can rebuild and restructure their whole internal experience of reality around that sense of well-being and give them an affirming lifestyle.
Well, I've had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, and my take on him instantly was that he was just such a gentle person and so sincere. And you know, sincerity is not necessarily a trait of so many of the self-help arenas, but you know, he's a wonderful man, and he really does seem to take your own personal interest to heart.
Non-affirming behaviors are rampant in our society. Everything from addictive personalities to codependent behaviors to all sorts of manners of self-abuse and self-hatred are all indications of never having been given the gift of affirmation. In other words, somebody saying to you, I see you for who you are, and I love you for you, not for what you can do, not for what you produce, not for what you have, not for where you live, just for the fact that you are a human being that lives on this planet, and you're unique and totally different from anyone else, makes you valuable. And when I can be given that gift, because you can't give it to yourself, someone has to give it to you, because you can't give what you don't have, and you can't have what you haven't done, and you can't do what you haven't been. Not only that, you can't be what you haven't believed, and you can't believe what you haven't received. And you can't receive what you haven't been given. So again, you can't give what you don't have. Somebody needs to affirm me. You know, in India, they have an expression. It's namaste. And what it means is I honor the glory I see reflected in you. Well, America can stand a little bit of affirmation when we learn to meet people. Instead of finding fault with them, instead of thanking them for what they can do for us, instead of building alliances for where we can get, if we can just see people for who they are and say, namaste, I honor you for who you are, and I see reflected in your eyes the glory of your essence. And it really does all begin with a genuine and profound sense of esteem.
We hope you enjoyed meeting Dr. Mark Chironna. He's got new books coming out. He's going to be coming to your state. He's going to be on your radio station and your television station. Keep your eye out for him. He's special.
Thanks for watching.